Growing up in a deeply conservative household, life was a series of don'ts. Don't wear this, don't go there, don't date boys. The list was endless. My wardrobe consisted of loose-fitting clothes that covered everything from neck to ankle, and my underwear drawer, well, let's just say it looked like it belonged to a monastery. I remember the first time I caught a glimpse of a Victoria's Secret commercial. My father quickly changed the channel, muttering something about the devil's work. But that brief moment awakened something in me. Those women looked confident, powerful, and most importantly, free, something I desperately wanted to be. At 19, I finally gathered the courage to do what I'd been dreaming of for years. On a Wednesday afternoon, when I was supposed to be at my women's Bible study group, I found myself standing outside the pink-striped Temple of Temptation, Victoria's Secret. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst through my modest turtleneck sweater. Walking through those doors felt like crossing a forbidden threshold. The sweet, intoxicating fragrance enveloped me, and suddenly I was surrounded by lace, silk, and everything my parents had warned me against. The displays were overwhelming in the most delicious way possible. Black lace, red silk, emerald satin, colors and textures I'd never dared to imagine wearing. My fingers trembled as they brushed against a delicate pink bralette. The material was so soft, so different from the practical cotton I'd worn all my life. A friendly sales associate approached me, and I nearly jumped out of my skin. But instead of judgment, I found understanding in her eyes. She must have seen countless girls like me, taking their first steps into a world of self-expression and sensuality. She guided me through the store, explaining different styles and fits. Words like demi, plunge, and balconette entered my vocabulary. Each new term felt like a small act of rebellion, a secret language I was finally learning to speak. The fitting room was another revelation entirely. Standing there, surrounded by mirrors, I slowly unbuttoned my shapeless blouse. The fluorescent lights weren't flattering, but they were honest. For the first time, I really looked at myself. Not with shame or embarrassment, but with curiosity and growing appreciation. I tried on a black lace set first. The way it hugged my curves, the way it made me feel. It was like meeting a version of myself I'd never known existed. This wasn't the devil's work. This was art. This was confidence in material form. Next came a deep purple push-up bra with matching underwear. Each new set felt like trying on a new personality. Sophisticated, playful, daring, sensual. Words that had never been part of my identity before. Time seemed to stop in that fitting room. I must have tried on dozens of pieces, each one teaching me something new about myself. My phone buzzed occasionally, probably my mother wondering where I was. But for once, I didn't care. The most surprising discovery wasn't the lingerie itself, but how it made me feel. This wasn't about attracting attention or being provocative. This was about feeling comfortable in my own skin, about owning my femininity on my own terms. I left the store that day with 3 sets of lingerie hidden at the bottom of my bag, buried under some modest cardigans I'd bought as cover. The receipt I'd carefully disposed of in a different trash can, blocks away from the store. Back in my room, I locked the door and tried everything on again. Standing in front of my mirror, I felt different. Stronger, more myself. These delicate pieces of fabric had somehow given me armor, not to hide behind, but to stand tall in. That first visit to Victoria's Secret wasn't just about buying lingerie. It was about taking control of my own story, about deciding who I wanted to be. Yes, I was still the same person who went to church on Sundays and helped at the food bank, but now I had a secret that was all mine. Under my modest dresses and conservative sweaters, I wore my rebellion. Every piece of lace, every silky strap was a reminder that I could be both, the good daughter and the woman who knew her own worth. That I could respect my family's values while exploring my own. Looking back, that afternoon in Victoria's Secret was the beginning of my liberation. Not because of what I bought, but because for the first time, I made a choice entirely for myself. I chose to explore, to question, to discover. And you know what? The sky didn't fall. Lightning didn't strike. Instead, I found something precious. The knowledge that modesty and sensuality aren't opposites. They're different colors in the same beautiful palette that makes up who we are as women. Now, every time I open my drawer and see that hint of lace, I smile. It's my secret revolution, my private celebration of becoming exactly who I want to be.